Shady's back, tell a friend. Guess we're back, guess we're back, guess we're back.
Ah, Christmas Eve, a time of joy, warmth, and an orphaned billionaire beating up half the crooks and villains around the city in one night. Well, Batman Arkham Origins is basically Home Alone, only if Kevin McAllister was 6'2", emotionally unavailable, and legally allowed to commit violence. I don't know what else brings the Christmas spirit forth more than bloodied teeth. Or is that just me? And, because it's Christmas, Black Mask decides to hire the 8 assassins of holiday trauma to kill Batman before Santa even makes it to our chimney. So grab your hot chocolate, your grapnel gun, and probably a tetanus shot. Because this is a Gotham Christmas story. WeirdShady edition, obviously. 'Twas the chill before Christmas, in Gotham's cold night, where shadows moved faster than twinkling streetlights. Young Batman set forth, brooding deep in his soul. With no festive spirit, just crime-fighting goals. The city lay silent, yet danger was near. 8 assassins prepared to spread terror and fear. With gadgets and fury, each hunter in line. This Christmas would test if the bat could shine. Chapter 1. Deathstroke. Meet Deathstroke, the gingerbread John Wick of Gotham. Serious armor, serious attitude, but probably counts how many M&Ms he has put on his gingerbread house when no one's looking. He surveys the rooftops like he's judging a Christmas cookie contest. Calm, precise, and vaguely terrifying. You can feel his presence before he even moves. I like to call this poem Sir Rapsalot. Across the coal deck of the Penguin's old ship came a merc wrapped in metal from helmet to hip. A blade at his back and a staff at his side. Sir Rapsalot stalked like a gift homicide. With a veteran's calm and a predator's grace, he appraised the young bat with a scoff on his face. "Your footprint is sloppy," he sneered with delight. A toddler with mittens could put up more fight. He lunged like a snowstorm, precise, disciplined. Each strike a reminder Bruce wasn't seasoned. "Technique," whispered Deathstroke, "is earned through the grind." Bruce gasped, "I'm still learning, but you won't mind." Yet stubbornness carried the Dark Knight that night. He turned raw determination into raw knuckle might. And one final headbutt ended Deathstroke's reign. Our rookie's rude lesson unwrapped with some pain. So apparently, Batman figured out that just swinging fists around like a misdirected Muhammad Ali isn't enough.
I'm the Apollo.
You've been putting me on for years. You know my real name, don't you?
No, show me.
Kid Salami.
Show what you can do.
Who knew? Precision is a thing. Who would have guessed a gingerbread John Wick would school you in footwork? Chapter 2. Electrocutioner. Here's Electrocutioner, the human taser with a flair for chaos. Sparks follow him like mistletoe on speed. He probably tried to toast the marshmallows with his hands once. Fast, unpredictable, and just a little too enthusiastic about electricity. You'll probably want to keep your hair and eyebrows away from him for safekeeping. I like to call this poem Fuse Breaker Frank. Then clattered in the breaker box's own last gasp. Fuse Breaker Frank, a live wire doomed to collapse. Electrocutioner strode, bolts dancing at his heels, ready to fry Batman with shocking appeals. He roared, "I command fire and current's cruel art." Voltage like lightning, he aimed for Bruce's heart. He flexed, he cracked, as city lights dimmed in fear. A holiday bulb gone haywire, danger near. But Bruce merely shifted, avoiding the surge. One punch and the wires fell limp with a dirge. No grand finale, no dramatic arc. Just one clean hit, lights out, foe gone dark. And so the night stayed silent, snow drifting in air. Electric dreams smothered by Batman's cold glare. The lesson was quick: don't trust the flash and the scream, because the bat ends shows before they begin. Whoa! He lasted shorter than my New Year's resolutions! And also, electricity is scary. Don't touch it. One clean punch and lights go out. Thankfully, a lesson was delivered. No assembly of gadgets and such required.
This video is sponsored by BANE'S Holiday Protein Powder, a totally legit supplement for breaking spines and gingerbread houses. Now in new festive flavors: peppermint pain, eggnog noggin, and my favorite personal, seasonal suffering. Side effects may include rage, massive gain, and unintentional property damage.
Chapter 3. Copperhead. Say hello to Copperhead. Part candy cane, part nightmare slither. She twists through alleyways faster than your leftover Christmas cookies disappear. Sleek, sly, and just a little terrifying. She's the assassin equivalent of a snowflake with fangs. One blink and she might already be behind you. I like to call this one the Candy Cane Serpent. Through steam rising ghostly from Gotham's cold grate, the Candy Cane Serpent slipped in quiet and late. Her limbs coiled like ribbons on holiday trees, moving sharp through the frost with serpentine ease. She circled the bat with a poisonous grin, her claws glinting faintly as she slithered in. Too slow, Copperhead hissed, and too blind to survive. One kiss from my toxin and you won't leave alive. Her venom took hold, twisting sight into fear. Phantoms of failure clawed close, drawing near. False doubles danced dizzy, a venomous ring. Each shadow a promise of doom she could bring. But will beats illusion when strength feels too light. Bruce pushed through the fever and rose to the fight. He caught Copperhead mid-lunge, broke free of her bind. A lesson in grit: don't let nightmares define. I just gotta say, illusions are tricky. Shadows are tricky. Also, apparently candy canes can bite. And what has the bat learned this time? Only that focus, persistence, and maybe a little venom resistance. That's how Batman can make it through. Chapter 4. Firefly. Next up is Firefly, Gotham's portable fireworks show. He lights up rooftops like someone turned the city into a holiday disco. Probably roasts chestnuts on the go too, because why not? I simply won't judge his snack cravings. He's chaotic, flashy, and impossible to ignore, because he's a one-man flame parade. I like to call this one the festive flame flinger. Across Gotham's great bridge, lit the winter moon's shimmer, came the festive flame flinger, a blazing red glimmer. Firefly drove downward with wildfire delight. A pyromaniac angel set loose on the night. He painted the skyline with sparks carved in gold. Each blast a reminder his madness was bold. Come warm up, Batman, he taunted with cheer. Let's roast us a hero to welcome the year. The bridge groaned in torment, its steel bending wide. Snow turning to steam where his firestorms collide. Yet Bruce pushed through smoke, through the furnace and fear. A stubborn silhouette stepping ever so near. At last, on a rooftop where the flames hissed and curled, Batman grounded Firefly and shattered his world. A lesson in fury: if you play with the fire, you'll be the first spark to fall from the pyre. Fire is hot, apparently. Flames burn and chaos is messy. But patience, stubbornness, and ignoring the smell of roasted marshmallows apparently wins the day. Chapter 5. Deadshot. Here's Deadshot, the red-eyed marksman who could probably hit your grand-aunt's tight pad button from across town. Calm, patient, and terrifyingly precise, he moves like he's auditioning for a holiday sniper pageant. He's also polite, deadly, and professional. Well, mostly professional. I like to call this one Rudolph the Red-Eyed Marksman. Through the halls of the merchant bank, silent and stark, crept Deadshot, the sniper who never missed his mark. They called him Rudolph the Red-Eyed Marksman tonight, for his laser burned crimson in the dim vault light. He purged by the hostages, steady and calm, a holiday nightmare with trigger for palm. One twitch, he warned softly, and Christmas goes black. But Batman slid in like a shadow's attack. A batarang flickered, a swift cutting gleam. It shattered Deadshot's focus, disrupting his scheme. The sniper lashed out, but his timing was blown. For Batman fought smarter than Deadshot had known. Pinned to a marble, his plot at the end, Deadshot glared upward, defeated again. And the bank sighed in peace as the danger took flight. Even Rudolph's red aim couldn't pierce Gotham's night. Red eyes, precision, the works. I would say that calm planning beats twitchy panic. Even Deadshot's aim can't pierce Batman if he's thinking 3 moves ahead. Tonight's forecast: 100% chance of snow, a 60% chance of crime, obviously, and a 30% chance of Batman throwing someone through a Christmas tree. I mean, I would know. Thank you. Thank you. Chapter 6. Shiva. Meet Lady Shiva, who probably judges your Christmas wrapping skills with spite. She moves like snow itself, with movements so graceful, cold, and slightly unnerving. She's also quiet, precise, and way more intimidating than your neighborhood snowman. By the time you realize she's there, the test has already begun. I like to call this one the silent snowfall spirit. Through Bowery's dim alleys, in snowfall and gloom, a lone crying carriage lured Batman to doom. But inside the trap stood the silent snowfall spirit, a teacher in shadows too quiet to fear it. She watched from a distance as Batman drew near, saving hostages swiftly, protecting the sheer. Strength without purpose is empty, she sighed, as sharp as a blade, yet still hollow inside. Her clues formed a pathway, a faint bleeding thread, that wound through the darkness where innocence fled. To Wonder Tower's hall in cold Sheldon's Park mist, where her ninjas struck silent, too fast to be missed. Steel clashed like sleigh bells, a cold ringing test. But Batman fought steady, with heart in his chest. And Shiva stepped back, offering quiet delight. Your power means nothing, unless you choose right. Being deadly doesn't mean anything if you don't know why you're swinging. So you could say that skills plus purpose equals good. Skills without purpose equals ouchie. And also I like the fact that Lady Shiva didn't really want to kill Batman, but only test him. Chapter 7. Killer Croc. Brace yourself for this one, because Killer Croc, who's in the game for maybe 5 minutes, but somehow manages to be the most Florida thing in Gotham. Huge, terrifying, and sewer-born-ish. He stomps around like he's on a spring break in the middle of winter. He's loud, ridiculous, and somehow unforgettable. The poem captures his chaos in full Croc-style glory. But his smile isn't half bad. I like to call this one the Frostbite Behemoth. At Blackgate Prison, where alarms split the air, rose the sewer-born terror, the Frostbite Behemoth rare. And snowfall turned floodlights to halos of glare. Killer Croc on the loose, freed by Black Mask's snare. Legends had sworn he lurked deep in the mire, a creature of tunnels, of hunger and ire. But tonight he'd burst upward, all muscle and scale, a reptile unchained in the frost-bitten hail. He lunged at the Batman with cold-blooded might, each swing shaking railings, each roar cracking night. Your head has a price, he spat through the storm. But skill beat brute fury, as in Gotham's norm. And the lesson that lingered through Batman's alarm even beats born in darkness bred only for harm. Can fall in the snow when faced with resolve, proof that strength without purpose is doomed to dissolve. Big, scary, Florida-adjacent monsters can be stopped. Sometimes brawn alone isn't enough. Who knew? Chapter 8. Bane. Here comes Bane, a mighty angry boy who likes to chug holiday protein shakes just for fun. As we've already established, big muscles, bigger presence, and dramatic entrances for days. He's overwhelming, intimidating, and wrapped up in pure, over-the-top energy. Therefore, subtlety is not on the menu tonight. I like to call this one the Venom-Fueled Nutcracker. Through Gotham's cold skyline, on Christmas Eve night, stormed the venom-filled Nutcracker, a monstrous new sight. To the Royal Hotel he came, fueled by raw might, hired to break Batman and break him outright. But brute force alone couldn't finish the job, so he pumped venom higher, each breath now a throb. He found the Bat's cave, ripped it open like tin, a juggernaut rampage, no mercy within. At Blackgate they clashed in a showdown of fate, Bruce fighting a titan gone past his own weight. One serum too many, Bane's body gave way, collapsing the fury that ruled him that day. And from that great foe came a truth hard and grim. Strength without discipline devours from within. Forever a monster, born mighty and scarred, falls fast in the snow when he's pushed too hard. Ah, Bane, Bane, Bane. All the muscle in the world won't help if you can't pace yourself. I mean, sure, strength is great, until it's not. And yes, holiday protein doesn't fix everything. Well, now is the time for the last poem. Before we wrap up this chilly Christmas tale, there's one thing we can't forget. Throughout this entire night, while Batman was slip-and-sliding across rooftops, getting venom chokeslammed, dodging sniper bullets, punching a man so hard he fainted immediately, and, of course, collecting reptile teeth to make a pretty little necklace for Alfred.
I want teeth. I want answers.
Someone was pulling every string in the background all along. Black Mask, the man who kickstarted this 8th Assassin Christmas special, the one whose bounty turned Gotham into the world's worst holiday battle royale giveaway. But here's the thing, nothing in Gotham is ever that simple, and the truth behind the mask, well, let's just say that it's about to hit harder than Bane on leg day. I like to call this one Krampus the Twisted Cheer. In Blackgate's shadows, the villain took his stand. Black Mask, the Krampus of Gotham, plotting plans so grand. Threads of chaos woven, schemes silently spun, a puppet master smiling, the havoc just begun. Through Gotham's streets, his influence unseen, assassins moved swiftly, carrying out the scheme. From rooftops to alleys, chaos took flight, and Batman observed, preparing for the night. Then, at the bank, the twisted truth came to light. Krampus the Twisted Cheer laughed, a horrifying sight. One flash, one grin, Joker revealed in the fray. Chaos now personal, the city in dismay. Krampus the Twisted Cheer's festive madness, Joker twisted and wild. Each swing, each laugh, relentless and beguiled. Batman dodged, countered, and learned on the fly. Through snow-dusted strikes and strategy, the Dark Knight awry. The battle raged fierce, through streets and through halls. Joker's tricks and traps bouncing off Gotham's walls. Batman pressed forward, unbroken and shrewd. Each move calculated, each strike carefully cued. At last the clown fell, his schemes overthrown. Black Mask's shadow lingered, but the city stood alone. A lesson in courage, skill, and the fight. Even Joker and Black Mask cannot conquer the night. Whew. Chaos is exhausting. Tricks are exhausting. Clowns are exhausting. But strategy, patience, and a really solid punching arm can survive even the weirdest holiday nightmares. Get the hint, Joker! And so our Christmas story ends. 8 assassins defeated, a Krampus humbled, and one very irritated Alfred waiting at home.
You're not some hardened vigilante. You're a young man with a trust fund and too much anger.
And so the moments come to fruition, where we wonder, what is the true meaning of Christmas? Peace on earth? Joy to the world? Or sending 9 supervillains to the ER before sunrise? Whatever it is, Batman just delivered it. Gift-wrapped injustice. So raise up your cocoa, your cookies, and your cheer, for Gotham survived one wild holiday year. And though Batman grumbles through frost, fight, and fright, he whispers, "Merry Christmas to Gotham Night." The end.